Hey there, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Fierce Women TV, my first program. We are live in WCOBM studios. I'm here with Kimberly Miles. Gosh, founder of the Be a Shiro program, president, of a national payroll company now, national, and I'm excited to pick your brain a little. We're going to get a little bit deeper now.
Okay.
And, we've been talking all day, right? We've been talking all day about your work, about what it means to be a fierce woman, and about your gala event coming up on Saturday. But I really wanted to talk more about some strategies and some tips. When I'm out there, I speak a lot about at tech conferences, tech companies. I did some training at Microsoft a couple months ago, which was super fun. And there's a lot of this talk about communication, a lot of talk about emotional intelligence in the workplace, in how to navigate office politics, because let's be honest, if anybody's been on Facebook or Twitter lately, politics are everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? We're very divisive. And I'd like to just pick your brain a little on what you would advise for people who are navigating difficult situations in the workplace. People come to me, men, white males often in tech, right? And they say, Christina, apparently I'm part of the problem, and I don't think I am, but what are some things that I can do? And I say, well, that's awesome, because at the Fierce Women Project, we talk about concepts of men as allies.
Yeah.
Men as allies, and mentorship and leadership. What are some strategies? Let's say you're a woman in the workforce, and you feel like you are needing a raise. You're feeling like you want to negotiate, and you're not quite sure how to start that conversation. What advice would you give for women who should be negotiating? Because you're not women. I know this, ladies, you're not.
Yeah.
But it's a big issue, actually, is they don't feel that they can negotiate.
Well, we're not trained this as children.
Yeah.
Girls are not trained to negotiate. What were we taught? Be seen,
yes,
right, and not heard. So about letting that voice out.
Yeah.
So I guess what I love about you in the Fierce Women Project is what you're teaching in the vision boarding. I've been doing vision boarding for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's become a reality. I do live a fairy tale.
Yeah.
The first thing, when you're not feeling comfortable asking for that raise, let's use that, or negotiating that raise, write down all of your bullet points. Pick 6. That makes you
6 bullet points.
6 bullet points, and then sleep on it, right? And then tomorrow, once you feel comfortable with those 6 bullet points, now look at, where do I need improvement? How do those 6 bullet points that look amazing, we've got to look at the other side of the coin, right? Because unfortunately, people are less likely to talk about your greatness, right? And so when I'm approached for a raise in the past, I used to think, well, what's the percentage of the raise? And boy, yes, you're meeting expectations. Are you exceeding them? In your documentation of what you do great, make sure that you've written a map of what you're delivering. And because we are the toughest on ourselves, it's
an accurate self-portrayal of what you're bringing to the table, what skills. And here's the other thing I find too. It's not, a raise isn't necessarily an entitlement, right? Just because another year has passed. Have your skills improved in the last year?
What have you done for me lately?
Right?
Well, asking for a depending on how long you've been with the company, what were you promised in the original sign-in bonus? There's so many different avenues to look at this in the negotiation. We would need more information to be really succinct. But if you're looking at that raise, and let's just say I've been there 5 years. First of all, go on the COLA indexed and look at what state you're in to see what this pay grade is delivering. Personally, when I hire somebody, I love all your master's degrees, and I pay for them. We have a whole education process. If you're keeping A's, then you get 100% paid at my office. I love to educate across the board, and I like to pay for it. And then it's free. But if you get a B, it's a little bit less. If you get a C, it's a little bit less. Anything less than that, you're paying for it.
Excellent incentive.
Yeah, it's an excellent incentive. So if you're doing a true self-worth evaluation on you, you are going to bring in facts. Most people don't ask for their employment file. You are, as an employee, able to ask for your employment file.
So I want to take a look at what's in there.
Yeah, it's just like your medical file. Most people don't ask to look at their medical file with their doctors, and believe me, it's out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To see, because you never know if something got slipped in there that you're not aware, and you have the right to take a look. People are afraid to ask because they think it's going to send a warning sign. If we make that the norm, you'll get more comfortable in negotiation, women.
Right. I
and
love
men.
that.
And
No,
men.
that's excellent. No, that's great advice for negotiating. Wonderful steps there. I'm wondering also, let's say you're feeling that there's inequality happening at work. You're in a situation where maybe it's your manager, maybe it's another team member, and there's an unequal situation happening. How do you bring up that conversation? Let's say, do most HR offices have a clear path to resolution? And if not, then what steps can you take?
So first of all, that's great that you bring it up. Look at that employee handbook. What did you sign?
Yeah.
That's the first thing. What culture has been created around the handbook, and is the handbook enforced? Are they following the policies? And a really great conversation with your immediate manager, if that's who you're feeling that there's inequality happening, is take it direct.
Because then you have the paperwork right there, and you go, hey, I was reading through the handbook, and I was thinking that some of these things we're not actually implementing, and this kind of made me uncomfortable last night when this happened at work. Is that what you're kind of talking about, just having an open dialogue?
Of course. If we just give people a minute to go to and say, you know what, and I didn't see that. You know what, I didn't catch it. I didn't see it the way you did. Right? Yeah. Because sometimes just having a minute, setting an appointment, and then sending the information to be prepared. Now, this is going on more than one or two times.
Right.
So, again, I love preventative.
Yeah.
Right? Preventative is really clearly understanding what that culture is before you go in.
Yes.
Right? Documentation.
I agree. Documentation. I preach documentation. Dates, times, who was in the room, what happened, who did you speak to, what was the response.
Copies of social media and texting. What is your culture in your office? You deal in technology.
That's right.
So there's this whole, what does it say in the handbook? And then you also want to be cautious if you're doing things that's not part of the job.
Well, and I work with a lot of startups too, so a lot of them don't even have a handbook. They don't even have those policies.
There's mixed feelings.
As soon as they get bought out, or as soon as they start to scale, and they don't have that culture in place, it can get really, really messy. I've seen some issues
for a new
happen.
business, for an attorney to come in, it's at least $2,500 to build that handbook. What's nice about us, we're affordable and we're not paying the publicly traded fees. So we ask for a 6-month commitment of $125 a month to get a handbook started for you.
No, that's a great service.
It's a great service, and then they have quick questions and even how to write up a formal review. These are access to these type of things that are through the technology or the software that we provide them. And then we have a live person, right? And then if it gets really sticky, we'll have somebody come out. And this is one thing that I love to do because I was an employee my whole life.
And the facilitation of those conversations.
The only ones who win are the attorneys, sister.
Oh, right.
Right? They're not driving that Ferrari or Bentley.
For no reason, right, exactly.
Where's your money going? Being a sustainable woman.
Yeah,
Being a fierce woman is really paying attention to the dollars and cents. And one thing I pride myself in, I have a choice to be right or effective. I choose to be effective.
No, I think that's wonderful. And just going through, now that I hear you say that, I have a couple I'm like, oh, I'm going to start sending them your way.
Wow,
$125 a month. That's
Thank
of
you.
course.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, you know, when you're communicating with other people, and I know you do a lot of training around emotional intelligence too, with some of
well,
your
I'm
work.
not trained in it. I actually work with Amy McVie, who is. I also work with Spencer Horn.
Oh,
So
yeah.
for men and women, and I actually suggest the opposite sex because it's a bird's eye view on getting another opinion of the opposite sex perception.
Right.
I love to ping pong, just like at my house.
Sure.
Why do I
Sure.
want to create anything different? I get
Right.
his point of view.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I have this project coming up, and I just wanted your eyes on it. I do that to my Jay all the time. I'll run upstairs and be like, hey, do you just have a quick minute to review this for me? Because I think but I'm not quite sure. And he has that other, he has a very linear and logistic brain. You know, I'm the creative, like, all over the place person. So it's such a great match. And some of the best
It's
advice.
exactly my match.
No,
That's
yeah,
funny.
That's great. Some of the best advice came from one of my dear friends, Jessica Oliver Watkins. And I remember when I first started out in business, she said, listen, if you know that you have a challenge, that there's a specific challenge, for me, a lot of it is those numbers and anything that's the logistical, you know, kind of implementation stuff. Get someone on your team who's strong where you're weak, where you're challenged. And that's really how I started building my tribe out, is specifically pinpointing other female entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, who could help me and mentor me along the way as they are going through their challenges. Because, you know, there are certain things that just you don't know, and you need that other set of eyes. You need that other input for sure.
It is so, and from a different point of view, somebody who's not like you.
Yeah.
I around me have those getting in the weeds in the perfection in our industry. It's the only thing on time is the paycheck. The doctors don't show up to the room on time. You're waiting 45 minutes, even if you're having a baby.
Yeah.
You've got the PA in there, right?
Yeah.
You're sitting there waiting in a court case and something's going down. You think the judge is on time?
That's right.
Probably not. Ever sat in a courtroom lately?
Yeah.
But guess what you're in trouble for?
Right.
If that money isn't 20 minutes early.
That's right.
They're already starting to make the calls to the office on Friday.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't control that your employer did not pass out your stub or your direct deposit in your bank because you're using maybe a smaller bank or a credit union. It only posts one time a day. So then you have to educate them. But that time is money on our end.
You bet.
And why we partner with those owners to help maneuver from that, to get another bird's eye view to help protect them as the partner in business.
Yeah.
Relationship is everything.
I agree.
To know that we're an extension of that business.
Yes.
So it might be your home business partner, but when you're running that piece of paper behind him, right? It wouldn't be a working choice to say, I don't agree with that and I'm not using any of that.
Right.
How's that going to create a,
Right.
You really don't want the feedback. You want to be right.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to be effective.
Right.
You have to take a bird's eye view. So
Yeah, no, I love that. No, that's excellent advice when you're communicating and you're trying to navigate. You know, if you're thinking about, gosh, everything that you do, because you really are a fierce woman. Where do you see yourself with all of these projects, you know, in the next 5 years? What's coming next? Because I know it seems like you're not stopping anytime soon. You've got more collaborations, more partnerships. What did you say? Something like 46 partners for the Biyashiro Foundation?
we have 36 and 2 are international.
Oh, I didn't realize it.
So we're planning to put together our teen advisory board, because I actually have teens advising me. Why? Because of what you just said.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening in the weeds. They know teens listen to teens, and if you've had anything going on at home that's, you know, grabbing a kid by the hair or pushing them around and violating that body is what starts other things. So everybody has an idea of what violation is. If you have a latchkey kid that drives a Mercedes at 16 for the 13th birthday and both of the parents are out of their home, not right or wrong or good or bad, is that working for the results that you see happening? We
Right.
got to start measuring those results.
Results don't lie.
They don't lie.
Yeah. I'd like to see even more of those kinds of involvement where you have a teen advisory board helping on some of these products and some of these new things that are coming up.
So we wanna-
I like that.
I want to answer the question,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry I got off. I get
Yeah, that's
excited.
okay. No, that's okay. That's
I want to
good.
take those kids and I want to exchange a kid program because I've worked with exchange
Yeah.
students.
Yeah.
And I want to take our group and send them to somewhere that they can see a different culture for a month
Yes.
on the Shiro program.
Yeah.
Because taking and teaching that maybe in their own homes that they don't have the finance to travel
Oh, right.
to another country, and then taking those same kids, we're working with a group in Costa Rica right now.
Okay.
But we're open-minded because we have many, many friends on the Asian Pacific Rim.
Okay. Yeah.
And we even have a donor that's paying for their school
Oh, yeah.
through, very exciting, that we could work with and do a swap for a month with an
that'd be a
opportunity
great
to
program.
travel. It would be a great, so that's in the forefront.
I love it.
The other thing that's in the forefront is the docu-series.
Okay.
We are going to do a docu-series, and I would really love you to be involved with that one.
Done.
Yes, because it's really what's happening with fierce women. Remember, it's
Yes.
fearlessness.
Yeah.
That's fierce to me, girl.
Yes.
Being
No,
fearless
I
and running
love it.
into it. I'd love your help on that because that's where we're going next. We already have some airtime that's available to us on Cox. We have our talent pool, and then of course being Super Shiro Troop 129 with Girl Scouts. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know what's happening. The boys want to partner with the girls, and
Oh,
they've
good.
started their own program.
Excellent.
Well, some saying it's good, and some are feeling something else. So it's whatever.
Oh, yeah.
We can't make people feel any other way. I like the collaboration piece, but remember,
Yeah.
LDS Church pulled out of the boys. So, in creating this program that hasn't been fully programmed, set out, there's a
Yes.
different way to handle it.
Sure.
And the girls who are running it, we want to be asked and not told, right? Isn't that
Correct.
something?
Yeah.
We want to
no,
be
we want
part
to
of developing.
co-create solutions together.
Co-create. Exactly. So
Yes.
part of this teen awareness, because we're focusing on the undergirls that jump out of Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
And we're getting them free programs, but it's teaching them how to be sustainable in gardening
Yeah.
and lighting a fire, partnering with your team. I'm already in.
Yeah.
This vision boarding, I'm a big believer. I
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
We have these parties once a year
Me
with the
too.
teens.
Yeah.
I love this. I want to come to yours. Why recreate it?
Fantastic.
We're coming to yours. I want to bring the people there to
Excellent.
you.
Done.
With our other nonprofits.
Yeah.
So that's what I see coming, and truthfully, building your own buyer.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing in my company right now, we're preparing our team, the one that do the work, the ones under 40 that are going to be there when I'm in my
yeah.
60s.
Yeah.
We have a 10-year program to allow them to take the baton. Instead of selling out, I mean, we
built-in
can't take the
mentorship.
money.
Yeah.
I never had a baby. I've never even been pregnant. My
Yeah.
husband has no children. We
Uh-huh.
got together, very similar.
Yeah.
No
Uh-huh.
kids.
Uh-huh.
But then we take on the ones that
That's right. Yeah.
need some help, that
That's
need a
right.
bonus parent. I hope
Yeah.
everybody starts using bonus parent.
Bonus
Please
parent.
get rid of step. That's like step on your mother's
Step-
back
I
or
use
cracker.
Instamom. Hashtag Instamom.
I love that. No, I love that. Instamom is great.
Bonus parent.
Right,
is
just add
great.
water, be
It's
well
that's
hydrated.
right. Kimberly, I am so grateful that we got to spend time together
Me too.
today on my very first episode of Fierce Women TV. I love all of your work. I wish you every success, and I look forward to collaborating on cool projects together in the
Yes.
future.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes,
Thank you.
You are a Shiro. Be a Shiro.
be
Thank you.
a
We all have the
Shiro.
opportunity. Men are heroes.
Yes.
Shiros, they're out there. Stand together. Us and we.
Yes, us and we. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.